it's sort of, I'm so glad to be here at Anita Bernie's because Anita and I are the only two charter members that are alive. Now, we don't have good memories, but we got a few pictures, and when we can't think of whatever the truth is, then we'll tell a little tale. But there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 charter members, plus Alice Ballard. Alice was a member, joined in somewhere in the East. Virginia. She moved to Topeka, and then her husband, Mr. Christopher, was appointed to be the director of the YMCA, so she moved to Wichita. And she couldn't understand why we didn't have a Links chapter, so she got busy and started.
Well, Joe, you got a little bit of the question I wanted to ask you. Why did you want to have a chapter in Wichita at the time?
We knew we were all rather astute, erudite ladies.
Oh, right.
And we read the newspapers, and we look at television. And Links was the prominent group for women. Now, you could join a sorority in school, but Links were not a sorority. It wasn't a school affair. It was a social affair, supposed to give a lot of attention to civic endeavors. And so Alice said she got the Topeka chapter to be our sponsoring chapter. You had to have a sponsoring chapter when you first, you couldn't just say, I want a Link chapter, and you start with it. You had to have a group to start with you. And the reason we did that, they'd come down and give us information about the organization, and then we went from there.
Okay. What was happening in Wichita at that time?
Lots on the
political
national scene.
Political and social.
Well, in 1968, there was something that affected all of us. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in '68. We could have let those kind of things stop us, but we felt like being an organization that pushed civic, national things, we needed to go ahead with it. And prior to that, Malcolm X and the president, not the president, the other
John Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy.
Robert Kennedy, and then prior to that,
yes.
John Kennedy.
So the hippies and the burn, baby burn stuff was going on, and it was just not in our scheme of things. First place, I used to always say, being in the center of the country, you can look at the right, and you can look at the left, you can look at up, and you can look down, and you see all the good things they're doing, and then all the things they're not doing that's not good. So we decided we needed a Links chapter.
Okay. So Alice Ballard was your founder?
That's right.
Okay. All right. What were the names of some of the charter members? Do you remember?
I remember all of them, but would it help?
Oh, give us a few.
Okay. Wilma Turner, her husband was a dentist. Mrs. Bell, her husband was a doctor. What's that gal's name? Married to the mortician. Isn't that terrible?
I don't know. Well, you know, Xavier was one.
Xavier, Miss Parker, Dora Bronson, Paul Stewart's wife, there's Josephine Stewart, W.W. Bernie, Frank Howard, Mildred Ingram. I'm trying to think of Chester Lewis's wife was Vashti. She was a charter member. His first wife. Pauline Gardner. Pauline Gardner was an articulate talking person.
Okay.
And they made, by the way, another thing about this area at this time, there were no organizations on the national level that were taking in African Americans. Finally, in the 70s, my board member told me, Joyce Foch told me. She said a committee of doctors, dentists, and lawyer women, they met and they decided, well, we've got to start taking in black folks. That's what they said then. So they said, well, there are only 3 doctors, so maybe let's start with the doctors. Let's invite them to the medical auxiliary. So Anita, who was somebody else? Belle and myself, we were invited. Well, we knew how to act. We really did. And Anita worked up very quickly to be president. They asked me to be the secretary. Yes, she was president of the
All right.
and of the hospital too.
Okay.
But the thing is, they made me secretary. Now, I can write and I can spell, but I decided to give Pauline Gardner, who said, we met in the palatial home of so-and-so. You know, you couldn't, reading her minutes, and I would sit up there and read them, and Anita would say, are there any corrections or additions? And they, no. And they approve as read. You know, so you need to know how those kind of things. We had, I'm trying to think of the national thing. There were no black folks that I know of, maybe not even whites, going to these places where the folks would go out in the field. Don't you remember? What am I talking about? Oh, you all are too young. They would have these weekend things for young people. They would have the rock music.
Oh, concert, yeah.
The concerts.
Yeah.
But they did everything. They smoked
like
weed and
Woodstock.
Woodstock. And I've got pictures that they are showing now on TV. Some of them didn't have any clothes on. If they didn't want to eat right now, they could put it down. Nobody would bother it. Well,
We had them in Illinois too.
Did you?
I went to one.
Oh.
At Haywood.
Well, we didn't have them in Wichita. We were too country. Thank goodness.
Okay. All right, those are fun things to remember. Okay. What kind of occupations were the ladies involved in who were charter members?
The charter members were mostly, well, some of them were teachers. Most of them were married to professional people. She was married to a veterinarian, teacher, a doctor, Pullman porter, because you know those folks made like Josephine Stewart's husband. What was his name? They made good money on the road, real good money. Okay. Xavier, she was a mortician. Mildred was a school teacher. Bash was married to a lawyer, a very talkative lawyer. And Maxine Jackson was married to the mortician.
Oh, okay.
Jackson, the older man.
All right.
So all of them were professional women.
Okay.
And it was good because it gave us a lot of time to plan programs, to read and find things out that you young people may not have time to do now because you're busy trying to make a living. Instead of, marrying somebody that can make their living for you. So that's the reason we had a lot of things going on, even at the beginning of things.
Well, that leads to my next question, because I was thinking about what was the impact of the service of the women from the Wichita chapter, the service that they gave to the community in Wichita.
Oh yes. We got very involved, very, very involved with all sex things that were part of our national trends, our services to youth and civic organizations. We started bingo. Now bingo, we've had it in two or three different places. Bingo was was something that organizations did to raise money, to pay their assessments to things. Okay, our bingo money was for United Negro College Fund. think we were supposed to pay $25 a member to, if you had 20 members, you times 25 people, you
Okay.
send that money in. Well, we were making so much money on bingo that we didn't pay any attention to that.
Okay.
We
Anita,
probably,
do you remember bingo? Okay.
What'd she say?
She remembers bingo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, because you know why she remembers it?
I count that money.
She got that money, honey. She was the money counter. And if she was sick, she would call Joe, y'all come Brian. Please, I'll be waiting for you. And she would count that money.
Yes,
Now, you're not doing as well this time as you did last time. Okay, well, we'll try to do better. Now, the reason we raised so much money, and by the way, we raised so much money that we gave 3, 4, 5 times as much as we should have to United Negro College Fund. So Anita took it upon herself when she was president, I think, in '76, to call Chris Edley, who was in charge of. And she told him, I think you need to come to Wichita. He said, well, I'm so proud of you guys. You just give, she said, I think you need to come. Well, instead of coming for a for a botillion, he came for our civic luncheon when we had the regional here. And he spoke along with the mayor. And
That'd be 1985.
was it 85?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. And he was delighted to come.
Okay.
And the reason we took that extra money, one time 11 of us went, another time 16 of us went, in dresses alike. And you might want to show one of those dresses.
Got one set? Okay.
Can you see that? Okay, well that's the white dress. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of us that went. Bingo paid their transportation, their air transportation, and they paid their registration. And then my husband and Anita's husband said, now this is the White Rose Banquet, you have to have white roses. So they called the hotel, and the hotel said, well, we don't have enough white roses. They said, well, I think you've got some that you can find. We need 12. So there we are standing there with our white
roses. Okay. All right. And Anita has a picture over here of the green
dresses.
The green ones.
Oh,
yes.
yes.
Where's that one?
The green ones weren't so bad. The white ones weren't so bad. But then the last ones that we got.
There we are. The green ones.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And
All
then
right.
the next year, instead of wearing that same dress,
We had to have another.
we had, you could put, most of them used green sequin
Sequin
stuff.
style, yeah. Now that one I have.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the signature programs that they had at the time? You talked about the bingo. What about Botillion? Tell us when that started.
Botillion started in 1976, I think. The first Botillion. And it's kind of strange how we got it started. We couldn't figure out who really started it. I think not Anita. Wilma Turner had been somewhere in Texas and saw a Botillion. And she brought the idea back. But Wilma was kind of a nice, soft-spoken person, and I said, well, let me present it to them. So I did. They decided, oh, yeah, we can do that. So really, it was her idea, but I pushed it, and Anita was our chairman, our president. There she is for the first Botillion, first annual Botillion. And she appointed me to be her chair lady, and Maxine Jackson was the co-chair. And I probably asked Maxine to be co-chair because anything I brought up, she'd have something to say. So I said, put her helper, put in charge. Better work that out.
All right. Were there any other signature programs that we had?
Well,
during that first decade?
The Botillion for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And of course we did, what we did, we had different organizations in the city to sponsor boys.
Oh,
For
okay.
instance, if you belong to the elite ladies and one of them's son was going to be presented, then the elite ladies would sponsor.
Okay.
The Jack and Jill group was a sponsoring organization. Kappas, Alphas, Omegas, and the Northeast something else. So we had sponsoring organizations. Now they didn't have to do a lot, but they usually always gave ads to help the boys because our city was not used to buying a lot of ads and stuff.
Yeah, Northeast Optimus Club?
That's the one,
it.
Northeast.
Okay.
I couldn't think of the rest of it, but that's the one. Yeah, they sponsored. Somebody's son their father was a Northeast Optimus. Now we decided that our boys, hold on 1 second. Okay. We decided that our boys didn't know very much about manners and behaviors and etiquette, eating and stuff like that. So we started, we talked about manners and behavior. We talked about dating and fashions at these sessions. Anita usually always had the table set because she had the real McCoy to put on the table. Real china, real crystal, you know, and stuff. And now one parent was kind of upset because we had the glass, water glass, and a wine glass. Well, if you're at a formal dinner, they probably have wine glasses. So you need to know that the wine glass, you don't sit it over here, it's over here. So then we gave tests on it. And we tested the girls and the boys on the manners and behavior. And we called it Smile, You're on Candid Camera.
Okay. All right.
Now see, here's the Jack and Jill. They were sponsoring this boy.
Oh, okay.
So then we'd have, after they knew their manners and behavior, we had a formal dinner. The first two I had at my home, because I had a pretty good-sized living room, and we hired men who knew how to cater that dinner and serve it.
Okay. How many boys did you present? Do you remember the first year?
About 12, I
12?
think.
Okay.
I think it's more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19.
Okay.
19. And the men came in their outfits like when they're going to serve dinner at the country club with the napkins over their arms, and they knew how to put the food, what side to put it on, what side to take it up, you know, just different. And we gave the same test to our girls, and we told them, now wait, let the boy kind of help you out of the car. If you see the turkey doesn't know how to do that, then just go ahead and calmly get out of the car. Don't sit there and mildew and miss the program waiting on him to open the door. So it was fun. Questions?
Well, let's talk a little bit about the 1985 Central Area Conference.
Okay. Wichita in 1984 went to or 83, we invited the chapters. We put on a little show for them. And ease on down the road, you know. We came on in there, told them how much fun they were going to have in Wichita. We did this at the Civic Luncheon. And so they said, you know, it's going to be good. So we got home, we thought, ooh, we better really start working on it. Now, we had a regional director that she just didn't know when to stop telling us what to do and how to do it until she told our husbands. Now, connecting links, I want you to, John Piles spoke up. He
You remember that?
stutters. He said, now, Marjorie, we will get our instructions from the links here, not you. She says, yes, sir. Thank you very much. And they did. They planned it real good. We had something then that we don't have anymore. The hotel downtown, all of the 25th floor was,
That was a revolving
bar.
restaurant, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it, no.
No, it wasn't. Okay.
Might have.
I think it was, didn't it?
Okay, yes, it did. Okay, it had a bar. It had little rooms where you could play cards or dominoes. It had a little area where you could dance about this size and a little combo that was set over there. So, I mean, we really put the dog on. And our men just couldn't. People, they said, who in the world can follow them with a regional conference like that? We took them to the Crown Uptown one night, and fortunately a couple of our members were in the play. I think Sheila and somebody else, I don't remember.
Was Sharon in it?
Sharon, I don't know, but anyhow, they enjoyed it. And our men made sure that they had air-conditioned buses because we did not want them to get their cars out of the garage. They charge you 50 cents every time you take your car out, 50 cents when you burn it back in. It's probably much more now. It was 50 cents then. So we said, leave your car in the garage, you know, and we'll take you. And we did the same thing when we took them to Crown Uptown and then to something else. Two things.
Okay. Well, I want you to think a little bit about Links in 1968 when you began. Because we're almost up to our 50th anniversary at this point. This is 14, so in 4 years.
Really?
Yep. We'll have the 50th anniversary. So I want you to think about, from what you've seen, you and Anita, what changes do you think the Wichita chapter has made? Or if you don't think they have made any changes?
Well, I don't go to the meetings. Because they put it on my email, and I don't read email.
Okay.
I haven't read it in a month. I don't care anything about it.
Okay.
I think that you're so anxious to take in people. You have to be careful because there are so many people who want to be a link, but they don't want to give up the time and the energy and the effort to be a good link. A good link works in the community. They work not in their church. They work in their schools. They volunteer for everything. Now, when we started, almost none of our links were employed. There were 2 or 3 teachers, but for the most part, we were at home, you know, and so it made it where you could do a lot more than you can do. I worry now. We had some people who got in links. I don't know whether they're still in there or gone someplace or got out. But they didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to do anything, you know. They want to come and socialize. And Links is more than a social organization. You can do that with the NAACP. And that's one thing. You can do it with your sororities. You can do it with your church groups. But Links was organized to do civic endeavors, to improve the city that you were in.
Well, that's the other question, was how committed Wichita members have been. Do you think that commitment is still there?
Oh, I have no idea because I don't go to the meetings.
Okay.
But I probably don't go to the meetings because it's got to be an awfully good meeting for me to go to. I can sit at home too easy.
Okay. Well, tell us
See, now I know what you're trying to get at. And trust me, there's a lot that you all could do. You're one of the older members.
yes. Now.
Right. And there are a few alumni members that are still active. Peggy and
Betty
Betty, and they are pretty sharp.
and Sharon.
and Sharon.
Asana.
See, now those older members, if you listen to them, they can tell you the things that would make a difference. Because every now and then, I think Priska got so excited about something I was talking about, the etiquette, the tables. She says, "Oh, just love that." Well, our boys need to know that because
Right.
you all are spending money and taking them to that trailblazer thing, and they're sitting up there improperly dressed, they don't know table manners. A few do, and those that do are ashamed to do it because they look over there and ain't nobody else eating with the right fork, so they just pick up anything, you see. So it's a peer thing.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Work on it.
Okay. Well, there's one question that I
And
really
don't let them go to, somebody hold those tickets to that trailblazer thing. And if they don't attend and take the test that you give them, then they don't get a ticket.
Oh, I see.
Now that's ugly, but I tell you what, you don't have to do it but one time, and the next
Okay.
time the word will get around.
Okay.
Because those boys were an embarrassment. I was sitting where I could see them, and I went and sat around on the other side of the table. It wasn't real bad. And we had 2 or 3 links that were at one of those tables, and they weren't helping them at all. So.
Okay. That trailers. Anita, there's one question I wanted to ask you specifically. For the Wichita chapter of the Links, what legacy do you want to leave to them regarding being a link?
It's been so long.
I know.
I really can't say.
Okay. But didn't you work hard?
I'll tell you, her legacy was, she might admit it.
Mm-hmm.
She was a financial thing.
Uh-huh. You
You checked the money.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Stayed up all night.
All night long.
All right.
And same thing when we were trying to get the book together and stuff. We'd get down in the floor somewhere. Maybe I'd open up a little glass of bottle of wine or something because it was like 2 or 3 o'clock. And I remember Deborah Powers would say, "I can't do anymore. I'm through. But Anita would sit with it. Her legacy was keeping the finances.
Uh-huh.
Contribute as much as you can of yourself and your own finances. It's just like when Chris Edley came here. He didn't go to any chapters that I know of other than, but he felt obligated to come to Wichita because of the over amount of money we sent for several years.
Well, Joe, I'm going to ask you your legacy. What do you want to leave to the Links?
I don't know what you're talking about. Like what?
Oh, some kind of saying or some kind of advice you'd like to leave for the new Links coming in?
Should have asked me that so I could have planned something ahead of time.
Off the cuff comes.
Nothing. Probably trying to help. I didn't realize it, but when Sharon Cranford was getting our sorority stuff together, she said I had such a sense of humor in getting folks to do things, in a sort of a jovial way.
Yes.
So I guess that would be my legacy. My legacy is that I'm old, and I'm the oldest one. No, I'm not quite as old as Anita, but we are the oldest. I'm the oldest in my sorority for sure. That's active, and so Anita and I, we'll be here for a little while longer.
We hope.
We hope. Okay.
But these ladies leave a challenge for the new Links who are coming in because they worked hard.
And be sure and get some people, know the people that you're inviting in. That's so important. If it's not somebody that you can stay for the rest of your life in an organization with, then think twice before you bring that person in. I remember when we started Jack and Jill, our kids would say, "Oh, Mama, we want to have hymns. You invite that mother and that mother." And that mother didn't have a commitment, see. So if you don't have a commitment to civic, this is not, start a bridge club or a bid whist club or a singing club, but don't start a links without the national trends, the arts, the services to youth, the international trends. Those are our legacies. And by the way, we have some wells that we have we participated in. Our chapter, a long time ago, sent money when they were building little schools in Africa. And some of the members said, well, we need schools here. That's not our national. Okay, do it. But the national project is to help the national links get those wells dug in Africa and those schools.
Okay.
And we did it.
You did.
Okay, now if you still want to give, when Katrina had all of that thing, we sent hundreds of books. Hundreds of books. I don't know whether that was AKs or
No, we all sent.
Okay, and I mean, it was, they had so many, they had to take a bus.
Yeah.
They got a bus and to school books. Couldn't get, the mail would have been exorbitant. So they got a bus and bust those books.
Well, don't
And
forget,
we helped.
with those hurricanes that were coming, we sent money, clinic in a can to Haiti.
Yes,
And,
same thing.
Same kind
See,
of
now
thing.
those things, that's civic. That's trick. And a lot of people that you get in links say, honey, why are we going to have to do that? Don't take them in. Don't get yourself in that bind. And you're already probably there, but those who don't want to do anything, if they don't have some buddies, they'll keep their mouth shut. Now, that's just the way I'm telling it, just like it is. No, I want to be proper, just like it are. Sheila says, Mama, if it be warm tomorrow, if it be cool tomorrow, can I wear my new sweater? I said, what? She says, if it am cool tomorrow, can I wear my new sweater? What? If it is cool tomorrow? I said, baby, wear the dadgum sweater. See, now what happened is she was, I had somebody who was keeping her during the day, and the lady she was so sweet, nice lady. Her English was poor. She never had a verb in the right direction at all. And when Sheila says, if it am cool, I said, what?
If it am.
If it be cool tomorrow, what? Isn't that awful? So I'm trying to tell you, the same thing goes for links. Just break it down, make it a little more personal. Be sure that the kind of people you are inviting are not necessarily somebody that goes to your church, that sings in the choir. What is her commitment to links? What will we, can you get a commitment out of her? Can you watch her? And by the way, we used to have teas, and we would invite prospective members. I remember going down at 12th in Indiana, that little Catholic church that's down there. We'd have, it was, Holy Savior had a little Catholic church there.
Oh, St. Peter Claver?
St. Peter Claver, okay. We would have some kind of little tea. I remember when we invited a couple of our members.
It was Moselle, when she became a member, Moselle Pendleton.
Yeah, but Moselle was kin to Anita, so we didn't have much choice. But we really did have, but we had decided that we just kind of wanted to see the prospective members in a social setting. So we had, a tea. And we had one at Turner's house when we sponsored, this guy that came here. We had an international tea, and all of us dressed in international outfits. I had 2 outfits, so Xavier used one of them that I got somewhere. But and then Xavier and I was supposed to fix the shrimp. And she said, now, Joe Brown, you buy the shrimp. But now don't go over and try to find the most expensive strip in town, because I got to help you pay for it.
I remember that.
Do you remember
I
that?
remember that.
Okay, and then we invited people, you know, that were people that we thought we might want to include as links. Now, when the word got around what we were doing, we had to stop. But for a while, we got to look at people pretty much to see if we thought that they, you know, if you see them, oh, I want to sit next to her. Well, she don't need to be a link if she can't sit next to somebody who's already a link. See? Because your link sisters will be with you as long as you live somewhere. So you want to be sure that that they are people that are compatible, that have some like principles. I get so tired of telling boys, pull up your pants, boy. Turn that hat around. Take your hat off. Those are things that, you know, it's just a part of me.
Well,
So,
yes.
I don't know how you all can deal with it, but you really do need to deal with it. There's a certain thing about quantity and quality. They don't go hand in hand always. You understand?
Understand.
Okay. Sometimes we're so anxious to see. We used to have an organization that was trying to get the same people. In fact, they started doing the debutante thing. So we quit doing the debutante thing for a while because this other organization was doing it too. And it really wasn't enough ladies, men, to do, everybody to do, you know, in this, no, this was the other group. This is this. Trying to think. It wasn't Bottega. It was the debutante.
Debutante. Okay.
Just because we started out having debutante balls. And we thought, now, you know, who's a debutante? They've already been out. Debutante means coming out.
So the debutante was before 76.
Uh-huh.
And you hosted those first.
Uh-huh.
And then you went into the Bottega.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. See, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
How many years did you have debutante?
We had debutantes until this other organization started it. And we thought, you know, like if they found out we were going to have orientation, then they would have it the week before. Let them have it. So we said, no, we'll do something else. So we started pushing some other project.
You have pictures of the debutante?
Sheila was a debutante. Was she?
I know Rosie Hughes has pictures of debutante. I don't know if it was your debutante or the other.
Oh, yeah, probably so. Rosie is, she's real good. She and her husband, Leon, took lots of pictures. In fact, she took the pictures when they had the formal dinner at my house for the Bows. He came over, they took the pictures that I had. Because I wanted you to see the waiters with their white linen napkins and stuff.
Okay.
And the reason I told them that we wanted them to know about the forks and stuff, I said now, Price Woodard was the first African American mayor. By the way, we had riots when he was a mayor, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the black kids didn't go to school, and the white teachers had a bunch of tests that day, but that gave a lot of stuff out, but that's okay. But I told them when I said, now when Price was a kid, they called him baggy because his pants never fit. They were always bagging. So I said, now, you know, he needed to know what part, because he became our mayor. And Bernie said they had breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the White House when they were up there. Now, suppose he didn't know what part to pick up. Or even to look and see what somebody else is. So we tell the kids now, if you don't know which one to do, just watch your host or your hostess. And whatever they pick up, that's the one you pick up. But Bernie said if she's the one that she talked to our Bows about that. She said, now, you know, my husband.
Oh, Bernice Woodard.
Bernice Woodard.
Okay.
Price Woodard's. He was the mayor. And we were having, by the way, when he was mayor, other people had gone to Washington. They couldn't get any money and stuff to bring for Wichita. Price Woodard went up there, and there was a capper that was in charge of the stuff, you know, and this, that, and the other. So he got it. Okay, you can have it. So then they partied the rest of the week. But by the same token, when Bernice was up there with him, she said it was so important that he knew how to eat at a formal thing. Even the breakfast was formal. She said everything was formal.
Okay.
I'd like to get those pictures if I can. So what I'll do is I'll come over, I'll bring a scanner
Okay.
to her house.
Okay,
So that they
that'll
don't have to
work
go anywhere. I'll come to you and I'll scan.
What's
it.
a scanner?
It copies the pictures